with Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah every Sunday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. PST on Volley 92.3 FM.
खाली है जो तेरे बिना मैं वो घर हूँ तेरा वो कौन सा घर है जो आपका इंतजार कर रहा है गुड आफ्टरनून बे एरिया hope one or the other Black Friday deal did indeed make your Sunday a happy Sunday. This is Sia on the show Real Estate Roundup with Nagaraj Annaiah, the founder of nagarajhomes.com and your trusted Bay Area Realtor. Nagaraj has mentored thousands on how to build wealth using real estate, has helped many manifest their dream of home ownership, and has guided real estate investors with large portfolios. When he represents you, his only focus is to find the best solution in your favor. So, if achieving financial freedom through real estate is one of your goals, this show is for you. And yes, you can join the conversation. Call us at 1-877 Bolly 92. That's 1-877 265 5992. Let's navigate this journey together with Nagaraj Annaiah. So without further ado, let's get talking. Hey Nagaraj, a very happy Sunday.
Hello, Sia. Hello, Bay Area listeners. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a great day out there.
So, Nagaraj, with the kind of appreciation in home prices that Silicon Valley has seen in the past years, anyone wanting to sell their home in the current market have similar kind of expectation. On the other hand, buyers also are a little more optimistic with the market trend now shifting slightly in their favor, as we were talking just before the show. So, if you can share a deeper insight of the current trends for both and give us some like real factual data.
I think before getting into a data, Sia, let me talk about. I came up with a fascinating conversation with the Elon Musk, one of the recent interviews. Right, it's not the usual rocket talk, but a deeper ideas about the future of work, AI, money, and what entrepreneurs should do right now. It was very useful. I would like to touch upon a couple of points on that. First lesson is always build a useful things. Make useful products and services. Don't chase money. Money will follow. When I talk to buyers, right, or investors or founders here in the Bay Area, the people who win long term are the ones who solve a real problems. A product that is useful always find a customers. A service that adds a value will find a revenue. And one more thing is AI will make many jobs optional. That is true. But most work, as I said, will be optional. AI plus robots will handle the majority of the tasks. Imagine a world where productivity is so high that people work because they want to, not because they have to. That means this is the best possible time to be an entrepreneur because AI will give you a leverage and scale the only big companies had before. So that's why I was keep telling you always AI might take jobs, but it will create more jobs, more creativities. But you should be willing to do it.
So, what you are doing, you have to do best. That is, whether it's a good product that you make or you solve a real world problem, or as you said, that if you're providing service, then it better has give lot of value.
Yeah, and skills matter more than the degrees. I see that across the real estate, tech, construction, even a creative industry, the people who rise fastest are not the most educated, right? They are the most capable, the most curious. That's why to make this the skill matters most, right? Like we are conducting in a real estate connect event happening on December 13th at Milpitas, at ICC Milpitas. It's a wonderful event where you can connect to most like-minded people. The only mantra is to grow. How do you invest in a Bay Area real estate? Because AI comes, whatever it comes, real estate always will be there. So to understand how to invest in a real estate, how to grow a like-minded, like basically how you can tune your mind to how to invest in a Bay Area real estate, because always buying an investment properties comes in with so many things. You need to be knowing each and everything so that you can make a smarter decisions. The greater knowledge, you make a smarter decisions. That is where the real estate connect event is happening on December 13th. To register for this, go to nagarajhomes.com. It's very minimally priced for two persons. Right now it's $15. It's almost like it's so minimal, but that 4.5 hours, I tell you, it's wonderfully, it's basically great knowledge event building. So join for that. Go to nagarajhomes.com to register for this.
So nagarajhomes.com is the place where we go and register. That is to connect to real-minded people. And as you mentioned, that skilling up is what is really needed right now. And then the so much knowledge coming together under one roof, where you have so many stakeholders. They're all talking together, be it a CPA, be it a mortgage consultant, be it a real estate agent. So many like-minded people talking as to how to achieve this financial freedom and navigate through this next few years when AI is going to be ruling.
Because there are so many speakers, like including the mortgage consultants, because including a residential, commercial, not only for the investors, even for the first time home buyers, what are the options for your mortgage options, right? And for example, if somebody is stuck on H1B, what are the alternatives for the H1B, EB1A, EB5? We have an expert coming in for to talk about a EB1A, and as an attorney also is coming there. Ashima Dugal will be there. And for a EB5, how do you invest through an real estate and get an EB5? The expert will be there. And the tax, how does the tax plays a role in the real estate when you're buying in? How you can use your vehicle tax as a vehicle to build onto your real estate. So the tax will be there, environmental specialist will be there, so many speakers on that day. It's like all the speakers list is there on the nagarajhomes.com to go and check it out. But do register out. It's priced at so minimal, but that minimal will make you get you a knowledge so that you can make a difference when you're doing it. To register for this, go to nagarajhomes.com.
So everyday real scenarios, real solutions to your any problem that you are navigating. nagarajhomes.com, Bay Area Real Estate Connect, happening on December 13th.
Yeah. Coming back to CI, you can repeat your question again. We can start
Yes,
on that. Yeah.
absolutely. Because holiday season, so many people, friends met, and everybody had this concern as to like market trend is shifting slightly in favor of a buyer, but not as much. But then realistic expectation of from the anybody who wants to sell their home is they would not want to reduce any price. So, what is like a real factual data that you must be having that you can guide both the parties?
See, it depends. For example, right now, as I keep saying, single family homes around in South Bay is really doing good. Yes, last week I was been in Oakland, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland also the homes, some of the areas like whatever it is coming in, like especially the 94611 Oakland zip code, like Montclair, Piedmont Pines, Upper Rock Ridge, right? And zip codes like a Rock Ridge 94618, 94611, 94618, 94610, right? All this, and even a 94705. These are the four zip codes in Oakland which are still doing good. People saying Oakland is dropping, but these four zip codes in Oakland are still doing good because one of them is very extremely desirable for families. One of the safest and most walkable areas in Oakland, and like other areas like gorgeous historic homes also. Some of the homes in even in Oakland does good in the particular zip codes because people knows these are very closer to commute,
Mm-hmm.
and it has all the tick marks. Somebody wants to move in there, right?
Especially
Property.
with San Francisco also again gaining strength and so
Yeah,
many companies moving out there.
and
Oakland is a very
proximity.
desirable location.
Correct. Proximity to UC Berkeley, all this makes a difference in some parts of the Oakland, right? But if you look all around in Oakland, then you might say that prices are like dropping because some of the if you look overall in the Oakland, you might say, hey, it's not still a seller's advantage. But particular zip codes are still doing in good. What does it mean is the areas or a neighborhoods which have one or advantages, right, to the buyers, which keeps really doing good. But there are some buyers who still wants to buy in that area, right? For them, that other zip codes might work out because of the
Mhm.
pricing point of view. Because the price other zip codes which I told you, it's like 1.3 to 1.4. So that might be good for the that zip codes, and but somebody wants to buy in 800K. Last week I had one closing in San Jose. A lot of people says I can't buy a house in a 1 million in San Jose. We were able to close for a 1 million because the buyer knew they wanted to stay in a San Jose. They wanted a single family, and we closed it for 988K in San Jose right now. It's a 2 bed, 2 bath, completely remodeled home, 1920, 1940 built home, but completely remodeled home. And backyard ADU was there, 1 bed, 1 bath. You know, so what I was trying to tell you is like, especially based on the price range, what we are looking as a buyer, there's always an options for you to buy. But the seller, for example, this in the Oakland, the same neighborhood, I was telling you, right? This was, they bought it in 2021, 2022. In that time was a peak market area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now they had bought it for 1.65 and they listed the house for 1.4 million, you know,
This is again in Oakland.
in
From
Oakland.
1.65, the drop is to 1.4.
Okay. If somebody is planning to buy now, for them it's a good bargain. But for the seller, because he
Mm-hmm.
bought it for 1.6 and they upgraded it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that is where the key things happens in. Whenever you buy the house, don't invest too much on the upgrades unless you figure out you're going to stay there in 5 years or 10 years.
Absolutely.
If when you buy it, spend couple of 100Ks, then later after a couple of years you decide, no, this might be not the right home for me, I might decide to sell it. Then if the market is doing good, especially in some parts of the zip codes like South Bay, then you might get a good price. But if you have done it in a Dublin area or a San Ramon area, because you bought it for a peak, now the prices might be dropping in for you now. you know Holding is very important. When the home prices are not getting what you like as a seller, what you should be doing is like, what are the alternatives? Can I do a short term rental? Can I do a property depreciation for that? If by doing a depreciation, can I hold the property for next 2 years?
So, what can you explain property depreciation here?
So see, property depreciation, how does it work? It's like basically somebody, they do a cost segregation study. Based on the cost segregation study, like for example, you bought a house for $1 million, and they do a cost segregation, leaving out the land value. They come and what is the amount takes to build this home. They do a segregation study, and based on that, you can write off of a 200K or a 300K. For that one, the property should be an investment property. Investment means basically it should be rental, based on the income situation. If the husband and wife both are on a W2, then you need to be a short term rental. If only husband is on a W2, wife is not on W2, then it is like you can do a basically regular rental and still you can do a 100% depreciation. You need to talk to an CPAs, your CPAs, and try to understand how can you convert your property to do a cost segregation study. So talk to your CPAs, but again depends on so many circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that all depends on, are you moving out to a different state? Are you buying the other property? There are so many circumstances goes into it.
So, be
So
it in any zip code, in any market, there are always nuances one can navigate. Like, if you want to sell or buy, there are always options. It's just that you need the right person
correct.
to hold your hand through this entire journey. So that, and I think in current scenario, it's much more crucial that you really have a good person to guide you.
Correct. You see, that is where the understanding of the market is very, very important. Being a realistic, what you want to buy. You want to buy a 1 million, but I want in a, like for example, bigger single family home. It's not possible in San Jose right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything completely upgraded, not possible. But there are particular zip codes where you can still buy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you should be realistic on that. You can't say that I have a $1 million, but I don't want a townhouse. I don't want to pay $500 HOA. No, it's not possible. Single families also are available in particular zip codes. Do you want to buy?
Basically know what you're wanting to negotiate on, be flexible on certain things, and then there may be two or three factors that's definitely that is your ask.
Yeah, that is where I told you, right? Like building useful things are very important. That's where the first point I told
Mhm.
also in
Yes.
the when I talk, you should be realistic. always don't chase money. Money will follow. What is the reason you are buying in, right? Is it your primary residence? Is it an investment property? That is where very that is where I told in the beginning of also. So, like,
That build the
don't,
real product.
yeah, don't
Yes.
chase
Give the
money.
real.
Money
Mhm.
will follow. When you're buying in also, check what's the reason you are buying in. you know are you paying it too much of rent? To reduce it, are you going to basically invest it? Just do the math simple. Like, does it, for the next 3 years, whatever the rent you're paying, even for a 96, for example, $3,000 per a month, into 3 years, it's a 96,000, right?
Mhm.
Like, close to the.
100K, you've already 100K spent
So
on
instead
rent.
of that, when you sell it, are you basically, can you recover some money? That is a
Mhm.
simple math you need to be doing in. you know so that is where knowing what you want, that's very very important in this market. Now, coming back to the zip codes I was talking about, like, since we touched upon an Oakland zip code, I would like to talk about a few zip codes in there. Listeners,
Yes,
myself,
please.
Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, I'm talking to Sia on the real estate related. If you have any questions, do give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877 Bali 92.
Yes, to join the conversation, it's 1877 Bolly 92. That's 1877 265 5992. The studio lines are open if you would like to uh, just join this conversation, have any question regarding real estate.
Yeah, coming to the three zip codes I told in Oakland, right? 94611, Montclair, which is like Montclair, Piedmont Pines, and Upper Rock Ridge. And why it's so expensive, this 94611 is like located in the Oakland Hills with a spectacular bay plus San Francisco skyline views and large custom zones, many 3,000 to 5,000 square footage, very low crime compared to Oakland average. And especially Montclair Village, which is very closer, right? Boutique shops, cafes, premium vibe, and access to top private schools, good public school pockets. And it's very quiet and forest-like environment. Typical prices are like up to a 3.5 million, 1.3 to 3.5 million. Ultra luxury homes can go up to 4 million in this 94611 zip code. And the next
94611.
one in the
Anybody
Oakland.
who's looking for really nice, luxurious
Yeah.
homes.
And Rockridge, one more zip code, 94618. 94618. Extremely desirable for families. One of the safest and most walkable areas in Oakland. And restaurants, cafes, lifestyle retail are very closer. And it is a very proximity to UC Berkeley.
Mhm.
And top access to a Rockridge bar, Silicon Valley commute friendly, and craftsman style homes with a high character. Strong school demand is what this makes a 94618 more desirable, and typically around 1.4 to 2.5 million. Some of the homes can go even for a 3 million. And this zip code, another one is 94610, which is a Treasure Glen, Crocker Islands, Green Lake. It's like I was last week I was in this zip code 94610 to show some few homes. It's a gorgeous historic homes. Each of the homes, when you go around, it is like 1920s architecture.
Oh, beautiful.
You know, Crocker Islands
And
Elementary
you
Way.
have very gorgeous views from there.
It's kind of some of them you get a views, but mature tree line streets, quite upscale, mix of city convenience plus suburban calm. And typical price you can still get it for 1.2 to 3 million. But right now, as I was telling you, in zip codes and all, if you compare it to 2021, 2022, prices are lesser, but a good price to buy right now, because somebody during COVID times they might have bought it for a peak, but so that might, when you compare to that prices right now, it's still a good price to buy for around this 94610.
Mhm.
And one more important is a Claremont Hills, technically shared with the Berkeley, but many high-end Oakland hillside homes fall into this zip code 94705. I was talking about. Why it's expensive is dramatic hillside views, Bay, Golden Gate, Marine. Close to Claremont Hotel and Spa. Like, one of the important thing is the price range is 1.8 to 4.5. And one more important zip code is 94619, Redwood Heights, Leona Heights. Quiet hills, larger lots, modernized mid-century homes. and it's a strong family appeal kind of. And even this price is around 1.2 to 1.8. But when you're looking around to buy very closer to the hills, be careful. Does it, the house needs a fire insurance? That's what you need to make sure. You know, hillside zips typically have a lower crime, quieter streets, and a stronger HOAs or a neighborhood groups. And last beginning of couple of months back, I did close one in Oakland Hills also, which was very wonderful home, listed for 1.445 million. But my client was able to negotiate it for 1.25 million. And good thing about this, the seller when they listed for a 2,500 square footage.
Mhm.
But when we did an appraisal, the home came down to 3,000 square footage. 500 square footage extra, they got it. Because the seller was not aware, they added a 500 square footage, and that benefited for my buyer.
So buyer got a very good deal there.
Very good deal. And because if it's for accounted for 3,000 square footage, the value might go around more than a 1.4.
Mhm.
That was that. These are the five zip codes you should look for. I mean, this is a five zip code right now, which is like basically happening in Oakland. If I go back to a San Francisco now, there was one recent
Yes,
article.
let's go to San Francisco because I think there are, and especially with the current generation, there are many people who are wanting to buy in San Francisco.
And I think there was a more surprising and fast moving zip code is 94127. There was a recent article also published. West Portal St. Francis Wood and the surrounding hillside pockets, right, where places where homes sell fast, many in cash, and yes, some of them even with come with a beautiful Pacific Ocean views.
And
That is
this is,
the
you said 9452
no 94127
127
94127.
94127.
Most people picture like San Francisco as a dense, urban, and full of condos, right? But 94127 is a different.
Mm-hmm.
This zip code offers detached single family homes, quiet tree lined streets, bigger lots, and an almost suburban feel inside the city. And here is the part many people don't know. Because this area sits on elevated hills, several homes actually have a ocean facing views. You get this stunned westward sunsets that may feel like you are living in a coastal town, but you're
Mm-hmm.
only minutes from the heart of San Francisco. So look for a 94127 zip code. And price range is like around 1.7 to 2 million for a smaller single family homes, but 2 to 2.5 million for a nicely updated three-bedroom homes. And 2.8 to a 3.2 million for a larger four or five bedroom homes, often with the views of premium finishes.
So let's say somebody is interested in buying Oakland or San Francisco and they would like to get in touch with you. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Always they can go to nagarajhomes.com and reach out me there from the WhatsApp there. So or they can always call me at 858-880-4577, because these are the zip codes which is very good right now. And 94127, I was just telling you, in San Francisco is fastest moving luxury zip code with a surprising number of there was an article also mentioned with surprise number of cash transactions happening in around.
Mm-hmm.
People want the lifestyle, suburban comfort, city convenience, and yes, sometimes even a view of the Pacific Ocean. Then go for 94127 in Oakland. Also, I was telling you the three or four zip codes, which is mostly happening right now. To quickly touch upon that, zip codes are 94611, 94618, and again 94610 and 94705, and 94619 also, which is closer to Redwood Heights and Leona Heights. And we have a couple of more minutes in the show. Like, let's talk about a real estate connect once again. If somebody has not heard about this, real estate connect happening, real estate connect happening on December 13th at ICC Milipitas. ICC Milipitas. It's in a 4.5 hours, but it's a great opportunity to learn about a wealth building, generational wealth. How do you plan for it? Or what are the ways you can do it? That is where this event is all about, happening on December 13th. Lots of speakers from the mortgage, speakers from the tax, speakers from the commercial lending also. It's very important to know, especially how do you start any businesses with owning in a real estate. Because I was talking to one of the client recently. He says he pays 20,000 in a rent and he's running this business. I told him, dude, 20,000 you could buy a property in around. What are you even doing it? Because 20,000 you're paying a rent and you're making a 200K also per year. It just doesn't make sense because you're not owning anything, you're not helping, you're not growing anything on the other returns also. That is where knowing all these things makes a
Yes,
difference.
especially these times when some of the commercial real estate is available for a
Correct.
little lower,
And
you can renegotiate.
I'm helping out one of this client to buy a 40 unit hotel in Santa Clara, which is close to a $6 million. And I closed one 8 unit in Santa Clara for 2.8 million, which fetches a 16,000 rent. We talk all about this in my event happening on December 13th. To register for it, go to nagarajhomes.com. But if you'd like to know more about my services, if you want to buy, sell, invest in a real estate in Bay Area, go to nagarajhomes.com, click on a WhatsApp icon. That's the easiest way and best way to connect. Or if you would like to reach me on the phone number, it's 858-880-4577. Thank you so much, listeners, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Nagaraj. December 13th, one more time, ICC Milpitas, 10 to 2:30 p.m. Yes, an absolute